What's going on, everybody? Welcome to GameFreak. Today, I am going to do a review on my 8-bit arcade machine, which I built 10 months ago, and I'm also going to do a review on my Freakade, which I built 5 months ago. I'm going to give you a little peek on both of them. I'm going to do an overview on them, and I'm going to let you know how they're holding up. So let's get to it. Alright, so let's start out with the oldest one first that I built 10 months ago, my 8-bit arcade. Now what I did was, 10 months ago, maybe 11 months ago, I bought this Classic N, and this is a Nintendo clone. And I pretty much bought this because I believe it was right around the time when I just started this channel, and I wanted to do some reviews on different products. Now, I already have my original Nintendo, and it works fine, but I thought this was a pretty cool, looking device. It was interesting to me because I was like, man, this thing's only $40, so I want to check this thing out. Well, after I did a review, I didn't want it to just sit around, and I was like, man, I don't want it to just collect dust or anything, so I was like, what would be really cool is to make a 8-bit arcade machine. So I ended up building one, and it is powered by this. And to get around me having to go behind the thing and change out the carts, I ended up ordering a 630 in one cartridge. Pretty much has every Nintendo game on it, so everything is right there. I mean, the only thing I have to do is go behind there to turn it off, and that's it. So let me show you the 8-bit arcade today. Alright, so here she is. I ended up painting it in Super Mario colors, blue and red. And then I have found some decals on Amazon. I think they ran about maybe $15. And I did have to put plexiglass on that over the decals so they would hold up. And what I did was I ended up mounting in an NES Advantage. I don't know if anyone's ever done this before, but I was like, you know what, I'm sure they have, but I've never seen it, so hey, why not give it a go? You want it to have that arcade feel. That was the only arcade stick, I guess if you want to call it, for the Nintendo. And then, like I said, I got the 630 in one cart. I also bought that on Amazon. I believe that ran me around $45, something like that. But I mean, it has pretty much everything on it. And all of the games play super smooth. Now, don't go by this picture. The picture quality is actually really great. You don't get that when you have a camera facing it. I mean, it looks like it's kind of blurry and out of color and everything. I have had zero problems with this thing. I've had nothing but a blast. I play this thing almost every day. Not so much Super Mario Brothers, but hey, man, it's a popular game, so I threw it on. And this is what the sides of the 8-bit arcade look like. So it came out really cool. I'm loving this thing. I highly recommend doing something like this if you have the free time and the spare wood to do it. So with the 8-bit arcade, it's not the prettiest because I did use scrap plywood that I had laying out in the garage. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna build this thing. I always wanted an arcade machine as a kid, and they're just super expensive. And even as an adult, I wasn't gonna go and pay $5,000 or anything. I was like, you know what? I like building shit, and I know it's scrap wood. It ain't gonna look the best, but I did it. It's functionable. It works great. I have never had a problem with it. This Classic N, for one of the best $40 investments that I have ever made when it comes to gaming. I mean, this thing, it's on a majority of the day. I usually have my arcade machines running just to keep them warmed up. I'll shut them off before I go to bed, and when I'm at work, they're off and everything. But I ended up building that thing for under $150. I mean, I paid $40 for the classic end. I ended up finding that it's a computer monitor for the screen. I got that on Facebook Market, and I think I only paid like maybe $30 for that thing. It's I believe a 25-inch screen on that. The other expenses were the decals that I had put on, but I had to also buy some plexiglass. The plexiglass is a little pricey, but you can find some pretty good deals on it. And I had to put plexiglass over them decals because they kept peeling. So the plexiglass is holding them things on there good. And then, of course, I had to go get some paint. But you could buy the best paint in the world, and when you go over scrap plywood, it's not going to look the prettiest. But hey, man, like I said, it does the job, and it's an 8-bit dream come true, man. So I'm loving it. So the next arcade cabinet that I built is what I call the Freecade. And the reason I built that is because I ordered one of these. And this is the Evercade VS. This is the premium pack. And this came with 2 arcade carts. Now, this pulled me in when it came to the Evercade. I'm a big arcade fan, obviously. And I was like, oh, this is really neat, man. It comes with licensed arcade cards. So you're getting like the real thing, like exactly what you played when arcades existed. And you went and played them games in the arcade. So it was really cool, man. And there's more than one game on every arcade card. I mean, they have multiple games on them. Anything from like Bad Dudes to Double Dragon. It's great, man. There's so many cool games. So I was like, man, this is really neat. So I started when I received my Evercade in the mail, I started playing it. And the controllers, they might feel a little cheap, but man, the controllers are really, really good. But playing arcade games with a controller, it just didn't feel right. And unfortunately, Evercade doesn't make a arcade stick, like Blaze, I should say, doesn't make an arcade stick specifically for the Evercade. But I did end up finding one, and it was what the heck is it? The Mayflash F300, I believe, is what I bought. And I ended up building a arcade cabinet powered by the VS. So let's check out the Freecade real quick. So for the color scheme for this, I did black and purple. Now that looks blue, that paint does, but for some reason it looks blue under purple light. I have a lot of purple lighting in my game room, but I assure you it's purple. And I did a little bit of light around the marquee. I got them lights pretty cheap. I think I bought them at Menards. It's just some string light. And this is the Mayflash F300. And what I did was, this thing is built into the arcade cabinet. It is flush down, like flat right there. So it's not going anywhere. You can be rough on that thing. It's going nowhere. I upgraded the buttons to, I believe they're called like Sanwa or whatever. They're supposedly like the best arcade buttons you can get. And I did the same with the joystick topper. And, I wanted it to match. So it's all black and purple, because originally it's black and blue. And I made a cubby hole in front of this, so it's easy to get to the games, just switch them out. But with Evercade, what's really cool about it is you can put 2 carts in at once, so it's really comes in handy. I mean, this is a lot of fun. Oh, and I have that 25-cent oversized metal picture hanging on there too, so that added a nice touch to it. Now, building the Freecade was a little bit more expensive because I got better quality wood. I actually went to the store and bought this, and then I got better quality paint. And, obviously the Evercade VS cost more than the Classic N did. That premium pack VS runs you around $130. And then on top of that, I had to get the lights for the marquee, which those weren't expensive at all. But I also had to get the Mayflash F300, and that ran me right around $70. And then I ended up ordering better buttons and a joystick topper, but they weren't really that much. They were like maybe $30 or something like that. But well worth it. Well worth it. And then the sign that I got, the 25-cent insert coin sign, I think that ran me like $12 on Amazon. But the TV that I use for the monitor and that, I bought that off of Facebook Marketplace, and I got a really good deal on that. That was a 32-inch TV, and I got it from a guy not too far from where I live. He was selling it for like $25. So I got a steal on that. So, you know, if you're looking for like any type of monitor, if you plan on building an arcade machine, I recommend going to Facebook Marketplace. You'll find a lot of good deals on there. You'll find some shit on there too. But so yeah, I'm loving this thing. And the other really cool thing about this Freecade is, I didn't mention, I don't have the whole evercade cartridge collection or anything. I do have like quite a few of them, but I do have the whole arcade cartridge collection. There are 10 arcade carts currently available for the evercade. So I basically have close to 90 games just in those arcade carts. So I'm having a blast with this thing. So maybe this will give you guys ideas, you know, if you're on the fence about getting evercade VS, and maybe this would be like, man, that would be really cool to make an arcade machine and have it powered by the VS. I mean, it works out great. And then the 8-bit arcade, you can't beat a Nintendo clone for $40, and it works. I mean, well, very well. I have had zero problems with that thing. So if you're interested to see how I built these things, I do have a video showing how I built the Freecade. Now, it doesn't go step by step, but it does show me building it from, you know, the ground up. So if you're interested, go to the arcade playlist. So, hey, I thank you guys for taking the time to watch this. I am really enjoying these things, and I hope maybe I gave you guys ideas. Make your own style of arcade machine. They're a blast, man. You won't regret it. They are so fun. I mean, it's like a childhood dream come true for me right now. I'm 47 years old, and I feel like I'm a teenager again in the arcades. I love just coming in here, even if I'm not playing and these things are just running. I can sit in here and just watch. I just love it. So, yeah, thank you guys for joining me. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps out the channel a lot, and I greatly appreciate it. And until the next video, game on, everybody.